I'm out and around on errands. Right up there is the Church of Santa Lucia, St. Lucy. Right up the way here is the oratory of the Chiesa Nuova, founded by Philip Neri. This is the intersection of the Via dei Vecchi and the Via di Monserrato, which I go up and down all the time. And this little open area here was opened up because when they tore down all these buildings here, they were going to punch a road through here that went all the way up to where the Chiesa Nuova is, but it never really happened. So now it's just kind of a strange, chaotic little intersection. There are some interesting things here. First of all, this little hardware store has been here forever. I think the owner is maybe 200 years old, I'm not sure. The fellow's grandfather was the one who found the Etruscan chariot that's now in the Metropolitan Museum. But this is the pomerium stone of the Emperor Claudius that was put here. A boundary marker that was very important because they were not, anyone who had Imperium Potestas was not allowed to go past this point where he would lose the legal right to command troops. And that was to protect the Senate from a military man to take over. And Claudius, they got expanded outward as time went on, and to a point where it's out here. And this is the term of Claudius. Claudius, the famous guy Claudius, right? The successor of Caligula. And Claudius was a bit of a scholar, so he made up letters for the Latin alphabet because Latin lacked letters for certain sounds that they had to make. And so he made up letters for sounds. And in the stone, you can see one of them. You see that upside down and backwards F there, right in the middle? Well, that's one of his letters. So it's really kind of an interesting linguistic historical document as well as a political document. And here it is. Yeah, from the time of the Emperor Claudius. It's pretty amazing. So that would have been in 59 AD. Yeah, so then right around the corner here, there's a gelateria, they're everywhere. Right around the corner here then, we have one of the famous pomerium stones. I'm looking at this area in particular a little bit more detail right now because I just took some stuff over to an apartment, which I think is going to be my apartment. But here we have a garbage stone, the Mondazzaro, by the order of the Illustrissimo, most illustrious president, Monsignor of the streets. You're prohibited to any kind of person to throw any kind of garbage in this place under the penalty that has been issued the 8th of September in 1759. And those penalties were severe. And I would bring them back for anyone who does stuff like this. Or like the nasty little guy who spray painted the pomerium stone a few years back and it had to be all cleaned. And so we'll go up the Via di Monserrato for just a moment. There's a little music emanating from this place, very much like the graffiti. It's really a very nice street, except that the cars go roaring up through here, and it makes it kind of dangerous, especially now with these electric cars, because you can't hear them. And suddenly they're behind you and they just scare you to death. But anyway, we'll go up to this little square. There's a well-known and very expensive restaurant up here called, we'll show you the entrance to a palazzo courtyard. This is really very gracious. And here where they would have the office of the portiere, who winds up watching everything. It's a beautiful angel in here. Isn't that lovely? That's the angel of the Annunciation. It's Gabriel. And see, I don't want to go in. This is a private place, but you can kind of get an idea of how lovely some of these places are. These old palazzi, enormous doors. They brought their carriages in here and so forth. And does it say which palazzo this is? No, it doesn't. The Palazzo Podocatari is here. I think I have written about the Palazzo Podocatari at different times in the blog. There's something tucking in the back of my head says I've told you about it on the blog. This lovely little square has a street that exits down to a Neapolitan church on the Via Giulia. And it's very nice when it's illuminated. This restaurant here is called Pier Luigi, and they specialize in fish things. And here's what I mean. You can see down there through this little tiny street the facade of the church of the Neapolitans here in the area. Their national church, just like their national churches in certain cities in the States for different ethnic groups. They've got them here too for different nations and the regions of Italy, which of course really are still kind of different nations. We'll just take you home. He's home for now. Another interesting entrance, but look at how graceful these old numbers are. I just love these things. I'd love to have a font on my computer that looks like that. These are elegant on that side of the street. On the other side of the street, they're not quite so elegant. Yeah, here's 32. Yeah, it's kind of interesting, the things that make my socks roll up and down. This is Santa Maria Monserrato. This is the Spanish church. And right behind this wall, right here where I'm pointing the camera, is where the tomb of Pope Alexander VI is, the Borgia Pope. Let's pop in for just a second. I'll show it to you. This church is beautifully illuminated. I don't want to disturb a mass if there's anything going on, so let's just see what's going on. Look how beautifully illuminated this is. So many of the churches are just dark, dark, dark. This is absolutely lovely. And here's the tomb of the Spanish king. And this is the tomb of Alexander VI and Callistus III. They were the Borgia popes. It's the famous Borgia. And St. Francis. I'll take you over. There's a beautiful painting over here. Look how beautiful this chapel is. St. Cecilia or an angel, I can't quite tell. I guess it's an angel. It's playing music up there. And here we have probably an Old Testament prophet. I'm absolutely pouring sweat because it's very humid in here. It's a blessed sacrament. Dominican, and maybe St. Roch, a pilgrim, or maybe St. James. Oh, certainly it's St. James because it's the Spanish connection. But I'll show you something really quite nice. This is a wonderful painting here. If I can get it all in. Of course, our Blessed Mother at the top. But down here is where really the action is. We're gonna read this. Dignarevi laudare te Virgo Sacrata. And down here we have heretics. You can see who we are. Look at the bad lighting. Well, the very good lighting, but not for this angle. What do we have? We have Luther, Pelagius, and of course, Muhammad, who was considered a Christian heretic at the time. Some cardinals, I don't know, I guess this guy saw the consistory list, I think. Over here we got some popes. I'll back up if I don't fall on the carpet. Put carpet in these places. So yes, this painting is really quite grand. It's symbols all around the Blessed Virgin of who she is from the litany. You could look at a painting like this all day long. The Blessed Sacrament, horrible veil, but at least there is one. So undignified. And you can tell that, women are probably nuns are decorating here because they always do things asymmetrically. Okay. Say goodbye to Jesus in a moment. I'll take you through the rest of the church quickly. Beautiful flowers. I bet they had a wedding. There are these lovely flowers. Very fragrant. Too bad they had to put an ironing board up in front of this lovely altar. Here, the Blessed Sacrament isn't going to be here because it's over there. So, over here. What a lovely St. James as a pilgrim. Very grand. With his book, of course, because he has a book in the Bible. He's got his pilgrim staff that has shells on it, so you know that he's a pilgrim. Again, beautiful flowers. And I'll just look back over here for a moment. And there's a painting here of the wonderful Saint Peter Nolasco. It's a great story about Peter Nolasco. His tomb is in Barcelona, and indeed it says Barcelona right up there. But he was on an island where the king came, and he came with his mistress, and he didn't want to be there, and he observed the king to leave, or he would leave. And the king wouldn't let him, so he went down to the coast and he took his cloak and he made it into a boat and sail, and he sailed back to the mainland. It's absolutely wonderful. These beautiful decorations around Our Lady. This is Our Lady of Monserrato. That's the name of the church and of the street. And this is something of her tail as well. See, she's seated there, and up there too. You could look up that yourself. There's a big Benedictine monastery there. Some years ago, they did a recording of Gregorian chant that became extremely popular. I think it wound up on top of the recording lists for, well, I don't know how many weeks, but it was one of those first things that really got Gregorian chant recordings going. And I like this statuary group here too, because it has Saint Anne, who is a great favorite of mine. Oh, this is one of the churches in Rome that basically has some of the most beautiful illumination. The beautiful illumination of all the churches in Rome. They've done such a good job with it. It's clean and beautiful, and so many of the churches are dark and dirty, and they take very good care of this place. And when they put the new lighting in, and this is, I think, not even barely half the lights turned up. I bet when it's all up, it's spectacular. The only other place that I can think of that rivals the illumination plant is maybe Santa Maria dell'Anima, which is the German church. Anyway, that's a little bit of this place in the neighborhood. And you know, wave. Il sacristano?
No, sono solo il custode.
Oh, custode, va bene. Ma che bella chiesa questa, con l'illuminazione che c'è, la luce che c'è in questa chiesa. È una meraviglia. Meno male perché si può vedere, sai che quando si entra in tante chiese non si vede nulla, perché non c'è abbastanza luce.
Questo il rettore ha proprio deciso di tenerla aperta per farla vedere.
Sì,
è questo che ha chiamato me per tenerla aperta appositamente.
Sì. Sai che qua sulla via Giulia, l'altro ieri parlavo con il custode della chiesa, penso che sia forse era il prete lì, ma era tutto scuro, buio, e poi lamentava che allora non possiamo pagare la bolletta per la luce, perché non ci viene nessuno. Ma allora accendi la luce, fai qualcosa in chiesa, la gente verrà, no? Sembra logico.
Ieri qui hanno fatto un concerto, 3 tenori.
Ah sì? Sì. Un concerto?
Un concerto di 3 tenori. Poi questa è fatta apposta.
Sì, beh, l'acustica è meraviglia.
Sì. Consideri che il giorno prima sono venuti per fare appunto le prove per vedere come si sentiva, se c'era bisogno di aggiustare qualcosa. Sono venuti, sono stati 2 minuti e se ne sono andati. Mi hanno detto erano venuti
è perfetto, sì.
Non c'è bisogno di niente.
Sì. Bene, allora vi saluto, buon proseguimento, buona serata.
Buona serata.
E buonasera anche a Papa Borgia che sta qua. Non so se lui ha un programma per stasera, ma ho dei dubbi. No. Okay, here we go. Back out on the street. That was a little unexpected detour. We're going to try to get our light back to what it's supposed to be. All right. And up the street we go. Didn't mean to take you on that thing. And then there are these guys. Oh, we love these guys. Yeah, get a horse. Ah, man. Beatrice Cenci. You can look up Beatrice Cenci. She was put to death back in 1599, I think. And the street of the Cenci is right up here, the Via di Cenci. A big family. You see how things rise and fall and come and go. The entrance to the Venerable English College and its wall of the chapel. It's a lovely place. In an hour or so, this place will be absolutely jammed with young people getting drunk and making lots of noise. And there's the Church of the Archconfraternity that used to carry the Sedia Gestatoria, the site of the church where St. Philip Neri started his oratory. The door of my apartment's right over here beyond the cycle guy. He's a really nice guy. It's the infamous bar Peru. And this is where I will leave you because I'm going to make a dash over to the grocery store and get some white wine because I'm making clams tonight.